So this was my first job hunt. I was looking for a job in a country I knew. I'd done 1 year of university studies in France at Grenoble. And I began looking for a job. It wasn't easy. And I finally found a job selling pneumatic pumps. I'm anything but a salesman. But then I began finding out how to look for a job. I continued on. My next job was working for an American construction company building gas plants in Algeria. I spent 3 years there. I returned to Paris and looked for another job. I wound up doing something simply to eat. I was manager of a hot air balloon company in Burgundy. And then I saw an advertisement for a job with an international organization. It turned out to be the Australian Embassy. And I worked for 8 years at the Australian Embassy. And when I first came in, I was buying bits and pieces for airplanes in the Royal Australian Air Force. And I noticed that their computers weren't being used to full advantage. And so I started developing little programs to take more advantage of what the computers could do. And they created, for me, a computer department at the embassy. And I began training people in different Australian embassies around Europe how to use computers to their maximum. After that, a friend of mine was starting up a computer business. And he said to me, Frank, you've got some knowledge in computers and you're also a good manager. Do you want to come and be my partner and we'll start a business together? And we did, and it was successful. And I retired from that 5 years ago. And I had come back to Morocco because my daughter wanted to see the place where she spent the first 5 years of her life. And when I came back, I had sort of a funny feeling about how am I going to find this place. Well, it was 1999, and the Morocco that I saw in 1999 was nothing like the Morocco I left in 1973. And so when it came time to retire, I wanted sunshine and a little easier living, and I came to America. This is just to tell you that if you plan your future and think, okay, I am leaving the university and this is what I want to do, it's not going to be a straight line. Things are going to happen along the way that will change your plans. But give yourself the tools to look for a job. I've put together a little demonstration of how to do CVs and how to go about finding their first, second, third, and fourth jobs. Can you do the The first element and the most essential element is creating a CV. And a CV is the first look that any employer will see of you. They won't see you yet. It's a CV that... That's the list. That's the list if you want. Here, no, in the paper. The first one. Okay. I've put together, this is an empty one, just what needs to be on a CV. And I've helped a lot of friends, a lot of Moroccan friends, as a matter of fact, write their CVs. And everybody has a tendency to put curriculum vitae at the top of the page. Well, you don't put book on the cover of a book. You know what it is. So, I mean, the man or woman who sees this knows that this is your CV. Now, basically, the first thing you have to do is identify yourself. Name, address, your phone number, your email number, your date of birth, and I read the word. I'll read mine. It's your sex. Now, okay, better. One thing, if you happen to be applying to an American company or a company in America, American law has very strong anti-discrimination things. And so on a CV that you would be sending to an American company or a company in America, you would not put on your date of birth, you would not put on your sex, and you would not put on your photo. This is so that there can't be any prejudice about sex, color, whatever. But you know, they'll know. If your name's Mohammed, you're likely to be a man, and if your name's Fatima, you're likely to be a woman. Then the next thing is your motivation, your objective. And here is you describe briefly, 2 or 3 lines, what you want to do. Now this is going to be the flexible part of your CV. Because if you're sending your CV to a bank, you won't necessarily put the same thing in your motivation as you would if you're sending it to Royal Maroc or a hotel or something else. Then the next you put down is your education and skills. And you do this in the order of the most recent first. And just keep moving down. And you also list there your computer skills. And you list all this also. Then below that, you scroll down. You put your experience, what you've done. Now, yesterday, one of the speakers talked about community activity and things, you know, working in the community. Because you've probably spent most of your life in schools, you don't have too much job experience. You may have worked while you were studying. But this, the first CV that you write, this is going to be probably a slim area. So this is what I recommend. You know, community service. This is where you put in that I read to children in an orphanage, or I helped organize the Marrakesh Marathon, or I did this, that, and the other. Then you put down, further down, your language skills. You speak English, Arabic is your native tongue, one thing or another. And then your interests. Now this, too, is an area which can attract a future employee. Put down interests that you might make people want to see. Because this is what this is. This is the calling card. I want to see the person who wrote this. And so that's the bare one. Now I will show you one, and I asked permission from Yusuf to do this yesterday. Would you put the first, Yusuf, one, number 2. No, the other Yusuf. This, no. This one. Okay, this is a week ago or 2 when I met Yusuf. He showed me his CV, and he put what it was on top. And I looked at it and I said to him, there are all sorts of items. All these lines aren't necessary. It just clutters up space. And then things aren't lined up. And you put your age, and then you also put your date of birth. You know, an intelligent employer can do the math. And besides, that means he's going to have to change his CV every year. You probably will. So I did another one for him. Would you do that? The one about that? Are you? The other.